Old hunters like me, well, sure, we got a lot of tales to tell. And this one, certainly a tale. Peculiar one it was, even for a seasoned tracker such as myself. Happened out of Grim Hex, that rust bucket of a station where the versus undesirables go to stew in their own bad choices. Most folks there, they just fade away into the grime one way or another, like a cheap tattoo on a drunk space trucker. And then I saw him, this fella. He had a certain aura about him. He drifted over my way slow and easy, like a tumbleweed with a purpose. I was working incognito, see, so I slipped on my best British accent.
Hello there, sir. Are you aware there's a rather large price on your head? The strong and silent type, eh? You don't want to give away too much in these situations, right? Look, believe me, I know it's a criminal life, it's the only way, but, I mean, it's just business, man. It's nothing personal, you know? You have a good day, sir. Just watch your back in Grim Hex, yeah?
He was just strolling through the market, poking around the synthwave duds, like he was on a leisurely shopping trip instead of having a dozen gun sights aimed at his back. He knew alright. He knew the Green Imperial was watching him like a guardian angel on this station, keeping him safe as long as he stayed put. And by the looks of it, he was fixing to milk that protection for all it's worth. Like a Banu milking every last drop out of a fresh trade deal.
So, you know there's a lot of people around here that are after you, right?
Well, I figured I'd back off a bit and give him some room, and maybe they'd spur him into action. But then, like rust rats drawn to a spilled ration, other hunters started showing up. First one, then two, then a whole gaggle of them, all looking like they'd swallowed a bad jump drive and were feeling it in their guts.
See, man, those guys are after you. They're gonna get you, man.
They were clearly fit to be tied. This fella's just sitting there in the bar, laughing in their faces without saying a word. More and more came, like someone had broadcast a general alert. Some wiseacres mocking you boys down at the Grim Hex watering hole. This wasn't no ordinary target, no sir. They had to have pulled off something truly monumental to get this kind of heat. Even the locals who'd seen it all and then some were skittish around him, like a pack of squirrels avoiding a freshly picked carrion. Was he a crime lord? A forgotten prophet? Good heavens, was he the one? Anyway, as bounty hunters, we did the most logical thing we could think of. We bellied up at the bar and had a quick beer with him. And then, like a flock of lost Copian, we all trailed after this self-appointed messiah back to the central hub. He'd gathered quite the following by then, a motley crew of determined hunters and curious hangers-on. But the journey was long, and some of the pack started to lose faith, peel off and drift away, like tumbleweeds caught in a crosswind. Only true believers remained, myself included, stubbornly hoping for that big payout. Now, I pride myself on unique methods of persuasion. I figured a change in pace was in order, maybe a more subtle approach.
Listen, Beepbop, I can get you out of here, man. Don't trust anyone else. Don't trust any of these guys. I can get you out of here. I've got a ship. I can get you to Pyro, man.
But this fella, he was wise to the ways of the verse. He had eyes in the back of his head, I reckon.
Come on, that must be worth something to you, dude. Come on.
He knew. You could see it in his eyes. A glint of mischief, of knowing. He just stood there on the balcony, plain as day, taunting anyone who dared to show their face. Now you spend enough time out in the black, you see all sorts of folks. Some are just plain crazy. Others are so deep inside the black market they've forgotten which way is up. But this fella, he wasn't just some common criminal who made a few too many enemies. No, there was a history to him. A weight in his gaze that spoke of untold stories and impossible feats. Was he a lost relic from the Mesa era, cryo-frozen and then thawed out into a universe that no longer made sense? Or maybe he was a rogue AI that slipped off the grid and is now messing with the flesh and blood folk for kicks. Even I wondered for a wild moment if he was some kind of ancient Xeno artifact capable of bending reality itself. Well, after a spell, he sauntered over to the item kiosk, slow and deliberate-like, and put on his spacesuit. All the while, a parade of hunters still following, flashing their beams of light in his face like some kind of cosmic paparazzi. He just walked, calm as a spring breeze on terror, his entourage in tow, right to the airlock. And that's when one of the true believers, bless his simple heart, realized he'd forgotten his helmet. Suffered an unfortunate, though entirely predictable, demise. Space Jesus, bless his digital soul, even took the time to clean up the mess. You ever notice how the folks in this verse are always dying for the silliest of reasons? Makes you wonder if common sense got jettisoned along with the jump drives, right into the nearest black hole. Then, we embarked on a grand magical mystery tour through the belly of Grim Hex. And that's when it hit me. Clear as a perfectly exhausted quantum jump. The calm, the knowing eyes, the way he moved, even the subtle head tilts. It wasn't some ancient relic or rogue AI. It was a man. Just a man who had mastered the art of living in defiance of the odds. Of bending the rules without truly breaking them. A man who, somehow, had found a way to simply exist timelessly through the ages. It was Keanu Reeves, frozen in time somehow, and now here he was, Grim Hex's most energetic and uncatchable target. Only he could pull off something like this, looking cooler than a freshly poured glass of whiskey on the rocks. Out we went to a truly spectacular view of the void, and then back to the landing pads, and then inside again to the medical bay. Still the other hunters followed, their desperation hanging in the air like exhaust fumes in a crowded hangar.
You'll never catch him, you know. You'll never catch him. Because all you've got is tractor beams, you fool.
Back outside we went, and lo and behold, there it was, a Polaris, just waiting to whisk our man away to the stars. A capital ship, mind you. Even 1,000 years later, Keanu still has the clout to have a Polaris waiting at Grim for him on his command. The man abides. We floated up to the cockpit, and by all the stars in the verse, he was trying to glitch through the glass to defy us all and make his escape in a puff of digital smoke. Just like that fella in that old movie The Matrix trying to bend reality to his will. But then some genius, and I use that term loosely, more like a drunk bandit with a stray laser pistol, decided to open fire right there in the armistice zone. Blew Keanu to smithereens. Just like that, no one got the bounty.
Good job, genius.
I tell you, if a man could cry, all that effort, all that tailing, all that hope, gone just like a lost quantum drive.
Oh, Beepbop. Beepbop, no! No! What have you done? What have you done, you fool? You absolute fool. This could have been so glorious, and you had to go and fucking ruin it. You had to ruin it, didn't you, you fool?
Maybe he was the one. We'll never know now, will we? Nothing left to do, me and another hunter. We just looked at each other. We didn't need to say a word. An unspoken agreement passed between us. We'd infiltrate that Polaris and take what's ours. But of course, the verse, its infinite wisdom, just zapped us right back to the station. Like a bad dream after too much alien moonshine. And that, my friends, is the strange and infuriating tale of Beepbop, the hard target of Grim Hex. Gone, but certainly not forgotten, much like a tab at the local dive bar. If you ever see a fella acting too calmly in a bounty hunter hot zone, well, you just remember Beepbop, because let me tell you folks, he's just there to waste your f***ing time. Good night.